Hello, greetings of the day. I'm Swati, your host for today. Welcome you all in yet another fresh episode of DYP Akurdi Talk Show. Let's educate to elevate. As our tagline rightly indicates, that education is a necessary component for overall development of students in life and in career. There is a proverb, teacher is like a lighthouse who shows path to their students across the globe. And our today's guest, Dr. Vijay M. Wadhai, aptly suits to this. He is associated with education industry for last more than 30 years and has 5 years industry experience. He has been associated with reputed institutions and currently he is working as principal of D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi, Pune. With a man with vision and mission to develop students professionally and personally, he helps students to develop the skill set required, and to help in this, he has n number of associations with spiritual, social and professional bodies. So let's welcome our today's guest, Dr. Vijay M. Wadhai sir. Welcome sir, we are very happy to have you with us on this show. Sir, as you are working as Honorable Principal of D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, which has a strong legacy of 36 years, which in itself is a long span of time. And there are few professions which are always in demand and engineering is one of them. But if we see the current scenario, we can say that engineering is at crossroads. There is a lot of ambiguity, there is a lot of complexity, confusion in the minds of students when they seek admissions. So what you would like to tell these students to focus when they are looking for engineering admissions?
Thank you, Swati. This is a very apt question that you have asked me. Let me tell you, you have talked about the VUCA situation, that is the volatile, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. And you have mentioned that we are at the crossroad, where the parents and education institutes as well as the students at the crossroad. Very nice question that you have asked, but let me tell you, the forces behind this, why this particular situation has arrived. There are three important components which has responsible for this particular situation is the globalization and digitalization, horizontalizations of the socio-economic world and blending of technical, economic and societal structure in all. If you consider as far as the globalization is concerned, this is going to impact the job and any problem solution and innovations in the engineering field. There is a common thread in this world because all the boundaries are blurring. These boundaries are blurring between the discipline, in the nations, in the profession, in the industry and academia and in the science and engineering too. Everybody and everything in this network and connected, and distance, space, times are no longer the boundaries for the practicing engineers and innovations. Let me tell you that mobile communication, social media, cloud computing, big data analytics, smart cities, sensors, these are all the components which are responsible for making the change in the people's life. Because if you look at to this ambiguity situation, there is a digitalization also plays an important role. Digitalization leads the exponential proliferations of the knowledge and information characterized by the flux and guts. When you say about the digital India, we know that in our government of India, there is a Make in India concept, there is a Digital India concept, there is a Startup India concept, Stand Up India concept, but to make this India very sound, Digital India is playing the very vital role and the government of India is only focusing on to this Digital India. There are three important things which impacts onto the society. This is one, because the digital infrastructure is the core for all the citizen. This has to be made very strong. Second, as far as the governance as well as the service on demand has to be provided by the government of India. Yes. And third is a digital empowerment of all the citizen, where all the citizens should be able to adopt this digitization process. So let me tell you, second component which I was trying to talk about, the horizontalization of the technology for economic and social structure, and it is blending for. So let me tell you that blending of these three, social, economic and the structure of the people and the society, You will find that because of that, just take an example of this Amazon now.
Yes.
Amazon, there is a technology, Amazon people have developed the technology, people develop the products and put onto this website. Technology enabled, products are developed, but the decisions of this product, whether to buy into reality or not, the consumer and customer decided. And that's why it is not that somebody produced the products and the consumer is impacted, no. So that's why this horizontalization process had made everybody to think in ambiguous situations. So if you look at right now from the education perspective point of view, so education 4.0 has to be tuned to the current scenario, and all the required skill set the education system should be able to adapt, and the students and parents also adapt to this new skill set. So what are those new skill sets? These are that previously when we were thinking about this 1 or 2 decades earlier, that mono expertization was accepted, but now here multidisciplinary thinking is required. From reductionalization to the integration, the process has to be started. From analysis to the synthesis, abstract level learning to the experiential learning. Previously, the things was only from the technological perspective point of view, but now right now the scenario is from the techno-managerial aspects. Previously, they were focusing on to the concrete problem, specific problem. Now it is from the every uncertain situations we have to take out. Let us see as far as this COVID situation, it's an uncertain situation.
Yes.
But people have come out with some uncertain, from this uncertainty they have come out to the certain project. Certain predictive analytic has to be done. So uncertain situation we have to bring out these certain solutions. So previously in education they were independent thinking of their own disciplines. But now here, it is with respect to the collaborative learning, experiential learning has come into the picture, and that is why right now the university and all the stakeholders, the parents, teacher and everybody has to think from this point of view, even though we are at the crossroad.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah,
So you were talking about a new education policy that government has recently introduced.
Yeah.
Even you mentioned Industry 4.0. So from engineering perspective, what are those areas that you feel engineers should focus considering all this?
See, very nice and wonderful questions once again asked as far as this new education policy is concerned. Let me tell you that education 4.0 has to be aligned to the industry 4.0.
Okay.
Now, what do you mean by the industry 4.0? There are 10 important technology which are very responsible for as far as industry 4.0. One is the autonomous robot. Everybody is knowing that everything is going to be autonomous vehicle kind of the things. Second is everything should be a simulation based. Intelligent system integration, these are the part of this one. If you look at the internet of the thing, is a very important technology as far as the industry 4.0. What do you mean by that? Where the billions of the devices which are coming and they are coming onto the net, and that is giving the more insight of that particular data, and you can come out with a real meaningful abstractions can be taken out of this industry internet of the thing.
Yes.
There is the IIoT as well as the industrial IoT also. So along with this, there are other technologies as artificial intelligence and data science, cloud computing, additive manufacturing, automated reality, big data and analytic, and last is the cyber physical system. These are all the advanced kind of the industry 4.0 technology which has to be addressed. Along in tune with this, education subjects should be tuned to this technology, and then we can say that our syllabus curriculum has to be tuned to the industry 4.0. Then we can say that whatever the education what we are giving, it is aligned to the education 4.0 in aligned to the industry 4.0. Hope it is clear.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir, you were talking about a few recent technologies like Internet of Things and artificial intelligence. So with emergence of these new technologies, what can be the challenges and opportunities in the field of engineering?
See, as far as this artificial intelligence and data science you are talked about, let me tell you first about the opportunities.
Yes, sir.
So, the global artificial intelligence market survey has been given by the Gartner recently by 13 March 2020. In the Gartner research, what has they have mentioned? The $170 billion market is there by 2025.
Oh, really?
Or maximum, earlier in 2016 it was a 4.0 billion dollar. Then later on it has come to the actually something about 25 billion dollar. In 2018 it has come to the 100 billion dollar, and now into 2025 it will be a 175 billion dollar market. It has been pursued by. Let me tell you the important companies such as the Google, Microsoft, Facebook, as well as IBM. These are the stalwarts. They have predicted that the AI is the only at the core only. So that is why if you look at to the complete market and scenario, AI is going to be a complete will be ruling the complete next market. Let me tell you again, as far as this is market is concerned, as far as the opportunity is concerned, the 58% of the total industry have absorbed the AI and data science. And that is why as far as the market and opportunity I have mentioned, as far as the challenges is concerned, advent of this all the technology, the technological manpower, they are not available. And that's why this is the opportunity, even though it's a challenge, it's opportunity for the educational institute to address that. And that's why we have adopted in our D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, we have also taken this particular AI and data science branch for the 120. This will be the best opportunity for the students too.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah.
Sir, when we were talking about these new technologies, you have talked about few skills also. So I'm eager to know what you at D.Y. Patil College of Engineering do to groom students with these new technologies, with these new skills.
See, when you are talking about, this is very important questions, I am telling you.
Yes.
With respect to the advanced kind of the technology that I have mentioned about this, as far as this grooming is concerned, there is a necessity for creating the skills or creating the opportunity to understand the students, to groom them into the new dimensional thinking and new skills.
Yes, definitely.
From internationalization and standardization perspective, we are concerned for as far as this quality, giving the quality education to the students. The new education policy is concerned, the multidisciplinary research is the focus. All the university has to be in research intensive. So research, innovation, development, these are the forte of this new education policy. To tune to this education has to be standardized.
Yes.
And you have also mentioned that as far as the internationalization of the education. See, internationalization of the education will happen only when we are meeting to the standard. What are the global standards as far as the education is concerned? ABET is the standard. Washington DC Accord is the standards as per the quality education concern. And we here in India, All India Council of Technical Education, they are focusing on to the NBA accreditation and NAC accreditation.
Yes.
So NBA is a program specific accreditations and NAC is the institute specific accreditation. That is why if we meet this criteria of this particular standard, our students will be easily able to adopt it and accept it into the international market. And that is why this is possible only when the cognitive thinking skill is embedded into the students. There are two kinds of the thinkings. One is a lower order thinking and another is a higher order thinking. In higher order thinking, you will find that analyzing, evaluating and creating this kind of the skills are to be imbibed into the student. Previously in earlier education, they were only remembering, understanding and applying this, whatever the knowledge has been there into, this were the thinking, this were the skill set.
Yes.
But now here, as far as the new education policy is concerned, lower order thinking as well as the higher order thinking has to be, have to be blended into the nerves of this education, whatever the subject and course outcome and program outcome where it is tested and it is ensured that the student when they are progressing and passing out, they have to be embedded with this kind of the skill set and then they will be a globally competent students.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Yeah.
Sir, as you have talked about challenges, opportunities and skills, so how you at D.Y. Patil help students to face these challenges?
Wonderful. So, Swati, let me tell you that I talked about the other technologies and other challenges, opportunity.
Yes.
Now here, as far as the grooming the students to make it for the globally competent, the All India Council of the Technical Education and the National Board of Accreditation, they have freezed some important graduate attributes which need to be disseminated to the students, and students should be made ready about with respect to the all important qualities before they graduate from the college.
Okay.
So, what are those important? First of all, the qualities is concerned which is required when they graduate, these are as far as they should have the fundamental knowledge of the your subject, your mathematics, then your computing capacity, as well as the programming capacity. This is essential, quintessential as far as this is concerned. Second important thing is they should be able to analyze the problem, they should be able to work onto the complex problem, they should be able to synthesize the problem, they should be able to apply their knowledge base, they should be able to design, develop, architect the particular problem, and they should be able to give the solutions to this problem. Not only that, they should be able to have the testing and validation part also. These are as from the technological point of view. Second importance, other 50% of these qualities which are required before they graduates or the soft skill, generally it is called as a soft intelligence, which need to be imbibed into the personality as a communication problem, interpersonal capacity or need to be developed into them. They should be able to actually communicate to the society or in terms of the industry also, whatever the project knowledge they have. So, projects based learning and expression of the project, whatever that they have learned the knowledge, earned the knowledge, that should be, they should be able to present it.
Yes.
Apart from that, the two important things which need to be given and imbibed into the students, these are that they should be able to work on to the societal problem, and last is there whatever they are working on, that should be useful for the country. So, these are the major graduate attributes students has to acquire before they graduate. To attain and tune to these ones, we do have actually the 10 important center of excellence that has been embedded into our college.
Oh, great.
We have developed that 10 center of excellence. Let me tell you that in a computer engineering department, we have started this artificial intelligence and data science center of excellence, where the computer is being trained to model the questions, model the problems based on the input data which is, and it should be able to give the wisdom.
Okay.
Artificial intelligence. As far as the data science is concerned, we know that IoT based application that I have mentioned, the inputs and data is coming every minute, every seconds, and huge big data has to be understood, analyzed, pruned and processed. This is the, as far as the data science is concerned. That is why we have established the Center of Excellence in Data Science. We have also established the Center of Excellence in IoT in collaborations with the Intellian Corporations Canada.
Okay.
Again, data science has been also supported by the Purdue University professor, Dr. Hanson. He is collaborating with us.
Okay.
Apart from that, Satellite Communication Center of Excellence is there. We do have a 3D printing kind of the Center of Excellence with us, where we have already developed certain object which is required as per as some of the industry, some industry, healthcare industry, they were expecting certain prototype for some part of the body that has been manufactured by our 3D printing machine. Accurate company have supported for that one.
Great.
So, in a civil engineering department also, Center of Excellence into the BEAM technology, we are building information systems. There are 64 other software which are embedded into the one package, and that the students are being trained onto this one. A very important thing is the Virtusa supported one Center of Excellence where the robotic process automation skilling is done. 450 students have skilled into this particular domain. In tune with this, what we have done as far as the skilling from the industrial requirement point of view, we have had a 250 collaborations and MOE with the industries. And the students are sent to the industry for the internship purpose, so that they get the experiential learning. If this is acquired, student will be not facing the much challenges. They will be easily adopted by the industry.
Yes, definitely, sir. With lot of trainings, definitely they'll be adopted by the industry.
Yeah.
Sir, when we normally listen or read about D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, it's mostly about robotics, it's mostly about motors, national and international competitions. We have heard about Baha, Supra. So, can you please help our viewers to understand these concepts? What is it?
Swati, this is again a very important, significant question. That let me tell you that my D.Y. Patil College of Engineering is generally the iconic figure as far as the Supra Baha competition in this particular world. Let me tell you that last year 2019 there was a competition of the Baha competition here and which was held into the Pritampur in Indore. There the terrain vehicle which was designed and the specification was given by the SAE India, and our team stood first,
Wow.
overall first ranking, and that was based on that. There was a, this year also there was a competition, and that competition was held into Arizona State University, America, and in that also this particular Predator vehicle which has been designed, as far as the all terrain vehicle which has been designed, that has bagged the overall 8th ranking, but there were the 5 other components which was there as far as the speed is concerned, as far as the acceleration is concerned, as far as the cost effectiveness is concerned, as far as the designing of the vehicle is concerned, and overall performance is concerned. In 5 these aspects, our vehicle was the top in the world.
Great.
And that is why I mentioned that SAE, as far as the Baha competition is concerned, Supra competition is concerned, or all the 300 students were working continuously day and night, and ultimately they could bring this laurel in across the world. Let me tell you, not only this, that our students are actually excelling into the other competitions too. Government of India recently conducted the Samadhan competition,
For
which was
COVID-19.
based on the COVID situations.
Yes, yes.
Here, 22 teams from our D.Y. Patil College of Engineering have bagged the shortlisted as far as the first round is concerned. Later on, in the till final round, in the COVID challenge, our team was the first in complete nation. And that is why grooming the students, making them really working for the day and night, bringing out to some proof of concept, developing some up to the product level, giving the entrepreneurial skill, because all the products, valuations, costing, everything which is required to, these are the skills which are required for the
Yes.
entrepreneurship. Let me tell you, in tune with this, 250 people are working into entrepreneurship development as well as the incubation space. We have created the incubation space in line to the research innovations development in our college only. And let me tell you, as a result of this one, today as far as the quality education concerned, our whole DYP College of Engineering is standing across the Maharashtra as a top 10 college. And because this particular college has been groomed and given the insight as far as the only quality education, technologically rich education, if you come to our college and campus, and you will find that very conducive and serene and lush green campus is there. So that students should have a holistic development, and they will find that, oh, this is the best destination for the quality education. Hope I have answered to your all questions.
Yes, sir. I must congratulate you, your students, your faculty for this great achievement. And your college, your institution will achieve more laureates in the coming future. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. I hope all your doubts, queries pertaining to engineering are solved with the session today. By the end of this session, now you know what are the technologies that are evolving in engineering field, what are the skills that you need to master, what are the efforts that are taken at D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, which is graded A by NAAC, and how to go ahead with the process to achieve your dream career that you are planning for so long. For today, I will take your leave. Please join us for next session as exciting as this one. Thank you. Take care till the time.